Hey folks, Nick Haas here once again for Guardian Theft Recovery. So we are starting to get more politically active, and we are starting to actively attend city council meetings, open meetings regarding situations in Portland. To give those of you outside of the city of Portland and outside the state of Oregon an update, here's some things that have recently changed. The city of Portland has legalized camping on public property. The city of Portland is putting in all these safe havens that they're having around Portland. And for those of you in Portland who want an example of a safe haven, go look at the safe haven next to the jail up off of 33rd Marine Drive and tell me how safe that looks to you. So anyway, they want to put one of these things in a neighborhood that I live in. And they have an open council meeting for folks to come in there, voice concerns, and ask questions. So, of course, I show up. I wait in line. I was the second to last person to get to ask a question. I introduced myself and I said, "Hi, my name is Nick Haas. I'm the founder and operator of Guardian Theft Recovery. We're a non-for-profit volunteer group of primarily veterans and other individuals to work with our community and with local offices to recover stolen property. We've recovered almost 900 stolen vehicles in less than 2 years. We've gotten women out of sex trafficking. We've moved fentanyl dealers out of town. We are actively, daily in homeless camps. We're actively, daily dealing with the addicted and the repeat offenders. We are actively, daily putting our own lives at risk for no financial compensation to help others. So I feel that out of everybody in this room, I have a higher value of information and first-hand account on what these places bring. Yes, we need to do something about the homeless population in Portland that's ever growing, but you also need to realize that it's Portland's own incompetence, the city managers, the county management, that has brought this situation to where it is. So we're actively out there dealing with the situation. We're dealing with the addicted. I've seen blood poisoning in people that is so bad from intravenous drug use that they had to have their arm amputated. We've seen the amount of drugs, the people literally just shitting where they're sleeping. They're so high on opioids and fentanyl. So when you put these places there, yes, we need to give them some place to go, but you bring in all these people, you let so many people in, but then there's all the ones that stay on the very edge of it to supply the drugs, to supply the dope, to supply the meth. They're porch pirates, they're car thieves, they're punching holes in gas tanks, they're breaking into people's yards and stealing bicycles. You put one of these places in a condensed residential neighborhood full of well-to-do good people who worked hard to build their community up and make it nice, and you're going to put a camp that's supposed to house some 1,700 people in the middle of all this, and you don't understand how detrimental that is. If you're going to do that, yes, give them someplace to go, but don't put them in a residential neighborhood where you've got a bunch of schools and kids riding their bike to school in the morning. And there's people walking out of their door as it is now and finding people passed out, needles in their arms on their porch. As soon as they announced these things were going in these places, these homeless folks kind of started to converge on these areas. And I said, I've seen this. I deal with it daily. You have no idea the scope of the damage this can cause to a community and to a neighborhood, putting these condensed areas there. As much as we need to give them somewhere to go, my question to you all of the board of the council is, what exactly is your step-by-step plan to help get these people addiction help, psychological help, work help, and get them off the fucking street? Because we have a plan, and we've been shouting it down your guys' throats for over a year now, and you barely hear and listen to us. So now here I am, and I've got the whole room. They took over the Aladdin Theater for this meeting. They've got the whole friggin' theater packed full of people, and they're yelling and cheering and clapping as I'm saying this. What is your plan to fix these people and get them off the streets? Instead of just enabling the problem to continue, what is your plan, and what are you spending on this? Come to find out, they're spending $13 million a year with one organization, with one private company, to set up, operate, maintain, control, and police these safe havens, one of which is going to house over 1,700 people in a residential neighborhood in southeast Portland. And then it's a 1-year contract with option to extend to 3 years. This organization has the option of 3 years at $13 million from money from the state, county, and city of Portland to deal with our homeless. Now, we're actively out there, my organization's actively out there dealing with these people on the streets, and almost 50% of the people I've talked to in the last year aren't from Oregon. They got in trouble in another state, and the law enforcement in that state gave an option. Either A, you can do this time in jail, or B, you can take a bus ticket to A, B, and C. And the majority of them are getting sent to Portland by out-of-state law enforcement. Thanks a lot, everybody else. And so I'm sitting there listening to them talk about this budget and spending $13 million a year. One of these camps is going to have 1,700 people in it in a condensed residential neighborhood. Like, that's insane. Insane. But they could not actively give me any answer to how they're going to fix the problem. What are you going to do about Oregon's addiction situation? We don't have enough treatment available. All they're doing is enabling the problem to continue. They're giving them some place to go, and they're going to let them be there, and they're going to bring the neighborhoods where they build these things down. They're going to bring the property values further down. They're going to make it easier for bigger companies and businesses to come in and buy all this up, hire private, practically mercenary companies like they're doing to deal with all the homeless now. I mean, it's all a big cash grab. They're taking all that money, and you look at it like, I want to know exactly what the budgetary breakdown is. How are you spending that $13 million a year? What are the prices for the sanitation services for one site for 1 month? What is that exact cost? What are you paying for that? What are you paying for the addiction services at each site? Why don't you start putting some of these people back to work and getting some money back out of them? They don't have a fucking clue. Never had this shit land on their doorstep. They've never had to give someone Narcan. They've never had to deal with a repeat offending thief who tries to kill you. They have no fucking clue what the reality of the situation is, but they're taking our tax dollars and spending it how they see fit. That ain't gonna fly in my book and in my group's eyes. Governments are supposed to work for the people, not the other way around. It's we the people, right? Am I not the only one who remembers that in school? We the people? Am I the only one who knows, like...
Wouldn't dare cross any of you. I mean, what happened? Did your balls drop off?
You have a constitutional right to pursuit of a fair wage, shelter, etc. It's a constitutional right. Now, when you have situations that have been bred by the incompetence of a governance, and you're going to make it the rest of the citizens' problem, and you're going to take the citizens' tax dollars and spend it however you see fit with these organizations, like, this just sounds like a big fucking setup. I want to find a way to get the evidence all together, lay it all out on paper and show it. Because, goddamn, there's no logical explanation for the actions that they have said. You look at the playbook, and I called them out on it. I said, I'm sorry, nothing against, no disrespect to all you all up here, but it's the city of Portland's incompetence that have brought us to this situation. Shit that isn't actually actively going to fix the problem. It's just a way to spend the money and make the problem, using the problem as an excuse to grab the money and spend it how they see fit. That money's been earmarked. They've already got their plan. There's nothing anybody can do about it. They're going to do what they're going to do at this point unless people really start getting pissed and stand up. So, hey, Portlanders, and the rest of you out there in cities struggling with these problems, better start paying attention and better start getting active in your government.